the video starts, make sure you follow our socials in the description and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Welcome back to the Offbeat Review, where today I'm going to be talking about BMTH Horizon's latest tour show at Manchester Arena on their Next Gen Tour. Before this review starts, make sure you do like, comment and subscribe to this channel so you can never miss out my future reviews. Also check out my past content. I've done various reviews about sporting events and past gigs that I have been to. Also make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upcoming review or a podcast. So this is my first gig of 2024. Obviously I have this booked for many months in advance and I loved it. To put it quite bluntly, I did love it. I will touch on it in lots more detail as I do go through your review. But this is my second time ever seeing BMTH Horizon. The last time I saw them, I was 17, so it was a long time ago. It was around about 7-8 years ago now. And they performed very well. First of all, just going to talk about sort of Manchester Arena as a whole. I know I've done it in past reviews, but the prices are absurd for Manchester Arena. I can't get over how expensive the drinks are. Now, again, the venue delivered in forms of the sound and the lighting. I thought the lighting was sensational, and same with the pyro throughout sort of the support acts, and also for the headliner as well with BMTH Horizon. First of all, I'm just going to talk about the support acts. We did get in a little bit late, so we did miss the first two supports, but with Bad Omens, I thought they were fantastic. It's my first time ever seeing them. Obviously, they're huge in America, and I'm sure that they probably got on this bill off the back of BMTH Horizon's tour of America, and I thought they were great. They came over here to put on a show, and they certainly delivered. They were high energy throughout, from the start with the lead singer coming on in Balaclava, I think he was. He was high energy throughout, really getting the crowd going. Also, I've never seen a support act with every bum in every seat in the seating section. There was not a spare seat in the house for support acts, which is quite rare for the gigs that I usually go to. The visuals was amazing. Bearing in mind, they only had half of a stage to work with. They had these massive LED screens playing constant VTs throughout all the song. So every song had a different visual on there, and it made the set flow. You can tell they've really sort of pre-planned their set out perfectly. I also loved how they better the set list up. They mentioned a few times that they were playing kind of new and old songs on there. Obviously, they've got a few massive songs that were released recently. One of them is quite famous on TikTok nowadays. The pick of the songs for me was Glass Houses, one of their older songs actually, and I thought it was an absolute stomper. It's the first time I've ever heard it. I hadn't really listened to Bad Omens apart from sort of like the newest songs, but Glass Houses was an absolute stomper, and me, Jared and Kieran, who I went to the gig with, all agreed that was the best song. It's definitely one that I've added to my playlist, I should say that. Now, moving on to the headliners, BMTH Horizon. Wow, it was a long time wait for sort of the UK fans of BMTH Horizon for them to come back and do a arena tour, and they definitely delivered with a huge set list. And for me, it was a very much an arena set list that they performed. The visuals were amazing throughout. It was like being at a DJ gig at some point, especially with the lighting and the visuals that are available. Ollie Sykes was his usual big performance self. I mean, he was constant high energy throughout. He has got a bit of restrictions on what he can say nowadays after injuries within the crowd. So he wasn't able to hype up the crowd as well as he has done in the past. One mention from the gig, so I had a standing ticket. I was very surprised at how much space and how spread out people were. I'm presuming it's probably because of sort of safety reasons from previous gigs. As you can see from my videos that I will insert later on in the video, I was more to the back middle right of the stage, and we had so much space throughout the night. Maybe they undersold it, the standing event, just for safety precautions. I'm not too sure, but I think it really added to the event. Now, the stage setup. So it was set up on a 3-tier basis, and Ollie was running through all 3 tiers consistently. And obviously, with Jordan Fish now leaving the band, he had a huge part of the stage setup just for himself. So now with him leaving, they're able to sort of expand, and the whole setup really just added to the gig. The crowd was a big surprise for me. There was a huge mixture. Like, there was people from as young as children all the way up to grown adults, and everyone was there for a good time. It was a very sort of inclusive crowd. Everyone was there to sort of have a good time, and you could tell that. There was no real bad eggs. Usually going to gigs like this, there is 1 or 2 bad eggs that are kind of throwing drinks or kind of ruining the atmosphere for everybody else, but there was none of that throughout the whole gig. Me, Jared and Kieran all agreed that it was probably the best crowd we've ever been in for a gig. It was great to see him making such a big deal about whether you are an old fan, whether you are a new fan. It doesn't matter. As long as you support the band, that's all they care about. Another thing they did for the gig was record some audience vocals. I'm not too sure if they have done that for other shows. I don't think they have. I'm not too sure if that's going to be used for a track in the future or a new album. But the vocals sounded amazing, so I'm really excited to see what they do with that. So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything. Too late to regret. Moving on to the set list, it's not going to be a shock to people who know me quite well, but Kingslayer was the best song of the night in my opinion. It's just a massive banger of a tune. Ollie Sykes' vocals were great, the band were great, and it was an absolute stomper. Now, the term all killer, no filler definitely gets branded out too much nowadays in my opinion, but for Bring Me the Horizon, that's exactly what this set was. From moment one, they opened with Dark Side, one of the new songs, and then straight as that finishes, straight into Empire, which is a huge song. There was literally no filler throughout the whole set. Like, you couldn't go for a piss break, basically. The only real slow song they did was Strangers, which I'm seeing videos all over my TikTok nowadays. There's so many people who filmed it. It was a nice moment for the whole crowd to start joining. And then as soon as they finished that, straight into one of the old songs with Diamonds Aren't Forever. I've listened to Bring Me Horizon for many years. I've grown up listening to these sort of tunes. So to be able to hear that live was a personal highlight. One thing for me personally I thought was slightly odd was opening the encore with Doomed. I understand that online Doomed is a big hit for other fans, but for me personally, it's not one of my favourite songs. I thought it was a bit of a weird way to sort of introduce the encore. I'd have preferred a more sort of high energy song to bring the crowd back up, but to be honest with you, that's probably just more my personal problem with the song more than anything. It's not saying I don't like the song Doomed. I think it is a great song, but for me, I just think there was better sort of suits for that occasion. I think Doomed would have been much more better to have more towards the middle of the set list, but I can see why they included it at the end just because of the online sort of love for it. And is there a better close song in the world than Throne? For me, probably not. I mean, it is that perfect song to end a gig with. Let the crowd just get all energy out and end on a high, and that is exactly what they did. Just to end this review off, if you ever get a chance to see Bring Me the Horizon on one of their tour shows or even at a festival, make sure you definitely go. They put on a spectacle. Even if you don't know many songs, you're still going to have a great time, and the crowd is so inclusive. I feel like a band you cannot miss. If you have enjoyed this review, make sure you do leave a like rating and make sure you do subscribe so you never miss a future review. Tell me your experiences. If you've been to any of their UK tour shows, make sure you let me know what your favourite song was, your favourite moment from a gig, and send me any videos. I do love to see the gig videos. Again, thank you very much for watching this review, and I shall see you in the next one.